Hi. How you guys doing out there? All right, so thanks so much for tuning back into my channel. Sorry if you hear my puppy barking in the background there. Hopefully he won't get too noisy. But in any case, we're going to jump on into today's topic reading. This is going to be for the 5th of October. And here's the thing. Oh, and by the way, you guys, you can always enter to win a free read with me. Just write the word tribe in the comment section. I don't want to know any other information. I don't answer specific questions. I don't want to know zodiacs. One of the reasons I like to do it that way is because it's really cool. It's really fun for me to just see what pops out. I love to hear your guys' feedback if it makes any particular sense, but I just feel like it's I don't know, it's just a cool way for me to interact with you guys and not know a single thing about you and just see if there's a kind of a, I don't know, some message that's inspirational that pops out for you. So I will be choosing a winner probably within the next 2 days. I always choose at least one each week. Sometimes I do more than that. I have not chosen anyone yet this week. Okay, so before I begin this reading, I don't know why, but the words "I feel" kept repeating in my head. I feel. And I don't really think that there is more sentence after that. It's more like it could mean so many different things to somebody. It's like maybe somebody is waking up and feeling emotions for the first time in a long time when they've suppressed it or they put them on ice or they haven't dealt with them. It could be somebody who's like trying to figure out how they feel. I feel, it could be the question mark in someone's mind. All I know is, and I guess it could be like, I feel like someone is feeling their way in the dark. I'm not sure what this means, but we're going to go ahead and start the reading like that. Normally I would only do that on one of my bonus reads, but this kept coming. Actually, I was singing it in my head with like a whole melody. So, and it kept repeating and repeating. And this is the wrong deck. Sorry, my eyes, you see my line of vision is staring over here like I'm obsessed with this other deck that's at the far corner, and I haven't used this deck in a long time. So we just got the King of Swords in the upright and the Two of Swords in the reverse. King of Swords is not known to feel. Doesn't mean anyone is emotionless, of course not, right? But they usually suppress emotion and instead make logical decisions. Somebody is making a decision, though, possibly to unguard themselves. Now that's this whole reading is interesting. I don't know what the heck this is all about. If somebody is normally in a cool, logical minded, could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that we're talking about, but somebody who's normally cool, calm, collected, they go emotions, put those in the box and instead just peel out, like, well, this situation would have caused me emotional conflict. So instead I will put this over here and I will just simply say, would emotional conflict be useful to me at this point? No, then I won't deal with that right now. They could have been like very blinders on, very rigid, but at this point, and I really do want to talk about blinders. There must be a reason I just said that, because clearly we actually have kind of a space age set of blinders on, right? But we even see the full moon here. The moon illuminates things that have been hidden. I feel like somebody is all of a sudden having a flood of emotions that are coming at them like a tidal wave. They've taken off their blinders. Maybe this has been somebody who is, I don't know if they intended to let emotions in or if they are suddenly unable to keep emotions held back. Tell me about the Two of Swords. Two of Swords. What a strange flow for this reading. I start out by singing in my mind the words "I feel" over and over again, and then I can't make a decision on a deck, and I'm compelled to pick up a different. Maybe that's it. Somebody is making a choice. Oh, a different choice. Okay, so bear with me. I forgot that's why I haven't been using this deck. My puppy chewed this one up pretty bad, which should make it harder for this card to come out because there's not, obviously, a big chunk of the card is missing at this point. I never throw out my decks. I use them anyway, but I forgot that's why I haven't been using this one. So this Four of Wands came out in the reverse, but I want to show it to you in the upright because as you can see, the top and the bottom has been chewed up, meaning we've had erosion on this topic. And yet what remains is still this Four of Wands. However, here's the crazy part. It's in the reverse. Somebody is finally, they're coming to a conclusion, maybe that where they are is not satisfying, or maybe they're coming to a conclusion about having left behind a very important connection in their life. Let me see. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is, I feel like somebody is trying to get back toward something this is a quest that somebody is on. And we only go on quests for two reasons. Either it's our quest through this lifetime of what we want to achieve, or it's a quest that we were told we had to take on behalf of someone else. I feel like someone is starting to recognize perhaps both of these combined. Maybe what they'd been doing had been according to what they thought they were supposed to do. And they're finally asking themselves, but is that what I want to do? This is a big question about a quest. Tell me more about this. So this is all surrounding the topic of a relationship. I just don't know if it's a relationship that someone had been in that they don't want to be in. There is no happiness. And so now they want to move away from it. Or if it is a situation where they haven't allowed themselves to be in a situation. In fact, they walked away from it. Now they want to come back to it. I'm not sure what that is yet. This could also all be about career. That Four of Wands doesn't have to be about romance. In this case, seeing as how we have a child and a feminine and a masculine, it kind of looks like it's, family related. It does look like it'd be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. King of Wands in the reverse, Seven of Wands upright, Seven of Swords upright, Knight of Wands upright. Somebody walked away from something that they really wanted. And I think that they're just now realizing, they're reflecting on their behavior, saying, I was a jerk. Sorry, I'm not going to pull any punches on this. I'm just going to read it as I see it. This is all from only one person's perspective. This is not someone else's. So, and this is only a story, so please don't anybody get all crazy offended at me, because I just am reading what I see. This person is still this person in the way I see this. They are reflecting on their own behavior. It is suddenly becoming clear. They are recognizing what they did. They walked away from their perfect situation, and they eroded it to where that's all they focused on is, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. All these things were just problems. And so I'm leaving this. But the truth remained that this is still the person that someone loves, still the person somebody wanted to be with. And maybe that's why this has been so painstakingly slow as well. I don't know if this person ever really moved on from it that far. What's funny is, here's the thing. Let me hold this up before I get back over to the other cards that I might sound rude when I describe. This Knight of Pentacles is actually headed the direction of this. And yet, look, his horse is carrying him that way, but his vision is elsewhere. It's like somebody is somehow realizing that I subconsciously keep finding my feet taking me back to this topic again and again. Why can't I quit circling this topic when I put it on ice? I said I'm not dealing with it. I said I've controlled the situation. I said this isn't something that I wanted. For whatever reason, somebody can't seem to block out the thoughts, or in this case, maybe the feelings. They keep getting hit with something that keeps talking to them, this emotion that keeps bubbling up, saying, you can suppress this and walk away from it all you want, but you're going to keep feeling that you've missed something, feeling that you walked away from something that is what you wanted. You're going to have to address this again, if for no other reason than to give yourself peace, to understand, why do you keep thinking about this? Why do you keep feeling, I don't know, I feel like there's a hollowness or something in this. Maybe it's just my chest because of my asthma. But now let's go back to this collection of cards. I feel like if this horse keeps trying to carry somebody back toward that connection that they walked away from, What they're looking at now is their past behavior. Wow, I was a jerk. I acted out of pure ego. I blocked romance. I wouldn't open up. I wouldn't let somebody into my life, or I hid things. I wouldn't cooperate. All I saw were obstacles. And anytime, if anybody tried to talk to me at all and get to know me, I wouldn't let them in. Or these obstacles, whoever had these obstacles, that's all they focused on. They focused only on obstacles, and everything was defense. Everything was defense, defense, defense. Maybe there were a lot of other people in their life that were a problem, and so they were so accustomed to being defensive that they didn't know how to be soft. But still, somebody acted, I mean, they're seeing it. They're really reflecting right now on their behavior and saying, I'm the one who blocked this door. I didn't let anything out, or I lied, I hid. And you know, that's the problem here. I lied, I hid. I ran away from a connection. First, I wouldn't let something touch my heart. And then I lied and said it's because I didn't care about it, didn't want it. And I ran away. And unfortunately, then I became a really scattered. I don't usually give this night a bad rap, because I always feel like it's, you know, we're all supposed to explore things in life, figure out what we want, figure out what we care about. But unfortunately, in this storyline, and this is not a story about a man. I know all we've seen are masculine energies so far, but I'm not ragging on the guys out there. This could just as easily be a feminine, but because we all have masculine and feminine energies. But what we're seeing is somebody's looking back at themselves going, not only did I not act like a king, I acted like the poorest version of a king who should have been loving and open-hearted. Instead, I was competitive and jealous and sour, and I blocked everyone. Oh my gosh, that was me. I behaved that way. Why did I do that? So I'm going to ask why. I'm so sorry that this is not coming out in a very gentle manner, but this looks, it's that, or somebody lied to themselves saying, well, I don't want that relationship. I don't want a relationship. I want to be free. And that was the lie. They didn't really want to be free, but they were unsure. But I still see like behavior devolved into chaos. But why? Strength card, 9 of Swords. Interestingly enough, somebody was like really scared, really worried, full of anxiety, and trying to show that they were strong and that they were powerful. It's like, I feel like somebody wanted to make sure that they could tell somebody, you're not going to capture my heart. I'm going to show you how much you can't capture my heart. It's like they looked at love as something that was, they had to prove how strong they were, that I'm not going to care. You love me that much? Don't you think I'm going to give that back to you? Or don't tell me that I need to care and be kind in return, because then you're telling me what to do. Someone they didn't understand perhaps that to be loved and to give love is not something that's where the battle ends. That's where something beautiful happens. But somebody was really upset and really scared. I feel like somebody had simply been on a battlefield for way too long. Everything was something to fight against, something to resist, something to rebel against. And for whatever reason, they looked at a relationship as something to rebel against as well. Love was something to rebel against. They were going to show how strong they were, that they didn't fall victim to love. It's like, really? Really? Why was that the big scary? Love makes us stronger, not weak. Judgment in the reverse. Somebody had already played it out in their head that we're going to have a problem and I'm going to get cast aside and you're not going to want me. So I'm going to make sure that I don't want you first. That's what I see here. Somebody had played out a dialogue in their head where obviously you wouldn't want me. We're going to have a problem and it's not going to work. And so I'm going to make sure that I sabotage this so badly, and so I can be the one who leaves the relationship, not that you get to leave me. Why was that? King of Coins in the upright. Somebody was under the impression that somebody had someone else, or somebody was under the impression that they, something to do about resources. You can find somebody with more money than I have. 3 of Coins in the reverse. Yeah, I'm not going to stick around while you figure out that there's somebody else who could provide better for you, or who could give you more than I can, or something like that. So I'm not going to cooperate with you, because all it's going to turn out to be is competition where you wind up finding somebody better than me. So I'm going to make sure I run from you first. I'm going to make sure I tell you that you don't matter to me, because deep down I'm thinking you're going to find somebody better than me and tell me goodbye at some point. So I'm going to win this game by telling you I don't want you first. I feel like this was, I don't know if I can put this reading out. Oh my gosh. Faith card. The Hierophant in the upright. Hang on, because I gotta, before I just jump into something with that card, because that card carries more than our typical Hierophant. There is a, like, I feel like this oozing wound here. That's what I want to say, is like there is this oozing wound that someone is only just now acknowledging, like, oh my God, I was so scared that you would leave me, that I left you first. Somebody's almost like, this is such a turn of energy. They're wishing that they could have a do-over. It's like they want so badly to heal themselves. They want so badly to believe that it's wanting to believe in and have faith that they don't always have to feel this way. It's crazy, because somebody wanted this more than anything, and that's exactly what they didn't choose. That's exactly what they damaged and mangled beyond repair on purpose, so they didn't have to risk losing it. And it's like this great hope that this might not be over, and that there could still be a new beginning, now that somebody is understanding this, maybe, or someone is starting to feel this. They might be, this is such a strange reading. They might be trying to even talk to different, like investigate what love is. You know, lots of times when we talk about spiritualism, what we're really talking about is love. You know, the love of, you know, that allowed us to be created in the first place, and whatever you perceive that to be, right? This is not a religious reading. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very warm and inclusive about whatever religious beliefs you have, or spiritual beliefs you have, or lack thereof. All of you are very welcome here, and I never challenge anyone's personal beliefs, because they are just that. They are personal. They are yours. Please do not describe them in the comment section. I do not open that up for dialogue nor challenge. Instead, you are simply accepted as you are here. This is all about someone who maybe has been seeking multiple different visions and trying to find answers within themselves, but hope also that could love be restored? Does love last? Is love something that I could open up to? And could this person still possibly love me? I feel like this is all a challenge to somebody about, am I lovable? If I'm to boil this all down, am I lovable? It is a question mark that somebody is finally like asking themselves, which is a very big question. Could I do things differently? Could I act differently? Could I believe in love in a way that I didn't before? 9 of Wands is in the reverse. Somebody is darn tired of their own behavior here, exhausted from battling everything, pushing it all away. This is somebody wants to surrender at this point. Surrender and actually acknowledge I've been running from, first off, being able to love myself enough to think that I could be in a commitment where I didn't have to sabotage it and ruin it first so that I wouldn't be left behind. Somebody is surrendering, I think, to acknowledging why they behaved in a certain way. This is the key toward moving forward with the Sun and the Chariot. There is something absolutely, there's a turn of energy within someone. This might describe, if we go back to that Knight of Pentacles, this describes somebody's personal journey. All of this is about one person's personal journey. This is not about the other person's perspective. This is only being told from one person's perspective, and it has everything to do with how one person has perceived their own self-worth or lack thereof, how they were convinced that they needed to make sure that they wouldn't stand to lose anything because they were so certain someone wouldn't choose them in the long run. And they're just now realizing that they did that. They damaged this, demolished this, and they're realizing why they did it. This is huge self-awareness. Somebody is having huge self-awareness, and they're tired of behaving this way. It's almost like we're running out of steam to keep sabotaging things, because even that has become so exhausting. Instead, somebody is like, God, I want to be happy. That's the truth. I want to be happy. Life is not supposed to be unpleasant. I want to feel what it's like to enjoy life and to move beyond. And this could have something to do with like an entire family history of wounding, generational wounding, stories that someone had it kind of embedded in their mind about their self-worth. Someone might be realizing that and moving on from those thoughts that, well, of course I can't be loved. Of course not. You find somebody who says that they love you and you better run for the hills. You better show them that, oh, good, you love me. Well, I sure don't need that. It's not that this story is not about somebody who was saying, I don't love you. It was basically, it's like they were insulted that somebody loved them and they wanted to prove that I don't need your love. You don't need to tell me that I'm worthy, that I'm lovable. But it's because they didn't believe it. They wouldn't receive those words. So instead it was like, don't give me your handout of your amazing love that you want to offer me. This is such a complicated reading for me anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this will make sense to anybody out there. But if somebody shoved something away, like love was a handout and they didn't want that, but really at the heart of it, it was that that's not what they were comfortable with. That's not what they had received. Somebody is sorting all this out. They're also starting to see why this is what their belief system was based in. This Five of Wands is where we really think things out in our mind. I feel like this person is looking and reflecting very heavily on their life, on the people within their life, on the different dialogues that they've had and where certain ideas ever came from, where it's like, oh, well, wait a second. I mimicked the behavior of somebody else who didn't feel like they were worthy. And then I started to believe I wasn't also, so it's not necessarily that somebody set out to damage this person's self-worth, but maybe just this person is a very sensitive, intuitive person, and they picked up other people's, belief systems and energies throughout their lifespan, influential people in their lives without realizing it. And then that became part of their story and their dialogue, and kind of their reactions were based on some of those things. Someone's digging deep on this one, seeing all of this. And they're looking at what's already happened like a chess game. It's not that it's, okay, what game do I want to play next? It's different. It's about reflecting on, why did I lose this game? Oh, because it wasn't a game. Wait a second, I did this, which then caused that to happen. They're really seeing how one move in one direction affected something else in their life, affected something else. Somebody is tracing back the confusion and their motives and their behaviors. It's a very reflective reading. Maybe that's why I feel like it's complicated. Wow. Wow, somebody's coming to these conclusions. They're observing things in a whole new way. They're observing themselves. Maybe they're working with a counselor or somebody who's helping them through things, helping to see where some of these ideas came from, the lack of belief in themselves, or the things we've already discussed. Basically, someone is, you notice they're graduating. They're graduating. They're standing on a stack of books. They've learned a ton. This is wisdom. This is knowledge. This is understanding things. Page of Swords is where we gather information. They gathered information from multiple sources, most likely. But what they're left standing here holding is they're holding on to their wish. They realize that they can change the way they do things. They can change and they can go after the things that they want instead of fighting the very things that they want. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love it. I'm not sure if this is going to suddenly be a love offer that is going to be given, or if this person is just finally able to receive a love offer. This is the second time we've seen instruments on that Sun card. I'm sorry, I already shoved it back in that deck just to make myself space on my little teeny table here. But that Sun card had two musicians, like mariachi players playing in harmony. I feel like there's something about, I don't know, maybe lyrics of a song really spoke to somebody, or made them think about it. Something hit them. And now in turn, there is something really beautiful. Like this person wants to have their ear attuned to nice things and kindness. And I almost feel like somebody is going to hear things differently now. If they fought tooth and nail every time their partner tried to tell them that they loved them, all they heard was something that sounded like I described, like a handout, like, oh, I'm sure they're just messing with me. They couldn't possibly love me. Or they rejected that and pushed that away. They're finally able to hear like loving words in a receptive manner now. This is very much about hearing things spoken from the heart and letting the heart hear it the way it was intended, which is with openness and some blossoming and some real beautiful energy here. This is one of those, I'm going to need a nap after this one because I feel like I've gone through this now. 9 of Swords in the reverse. Somebody no longer picking themselves to pieces, believing that I'm not worthy of love. No, somebody's going to figure out that I'm not worthy. If this had been in the upright, this 9 of Swords is such a profound card because it shows someone has always been imagining that all these eyes are on them, telling them, evaluating them, telling them you're not good enough, you can't have that, you don't measure up, when really maybe that was all them, like hearing things with that perception. Maybe this is a story where right at the beginning of a relationship, this person did something ice cold to the partner, and the partner said, I don't want to be treated like that. If that's how you're going to treat me, I don't want to be in this relationship. And they took it as, see, I knew you would leave me because I'm not good enough. So now I'm going to mess with your mind, run away, go find somebody else, whatever it is. And now they're realizing, wait a second, I was acting ice cold. The partner wasn't saying you're not good enough. The partner was saying, I want to be treated better than this and be loved. It wasn't an insult. It was that if you want to be with me, I need to feel like I'm respected. Someone is just now realizing it's like the point of origin where everything kind of crumbled, and somebody is realizing that they heard it wrong. It wasn't that the partner was saying, you're not good enough, I don't want to be with you. The partner might have actually said something like, I want to be treated better than this. I don't want us to be competitors. And they heard it in the wrong way and said, oh, you're not going to stay with me because I'm not enough. Well, then fine, get lost. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was like something happened where somebody just shoved that away, but they're only just now able to hear things differently because they're only just now able to see themselves differently. A lot of release of stress, a lot of release of anxiety in this reading, a lot of we're coming into a time of much more peace. Wow. And everything that's been hidden is being revealed to this person, possibly to the other individual as well. Somebody wants to go ahead and actually speak about this is all about defenses, because this is a squid. and you see the squid ink as part of her dress because she is part squid. This is all the things that have been hidden, all of the defense tactics. It's very illuminated now that, oh my God, these were all my defenses that I had in place. Maybe the other partner had defenses up as well. And maybe there's an illumination about like how, one thing sparked the other to everybody started to behave in fearful manners or something. But the bottom line is this is all being revealed with that high priestess in the reverse. Everything that's been hidden away is very much like, oh my God, I understand it now. I understand it now. Queen of Wands in the reverse, Magician in the reverse. Karmic cycle of deception, karmic cycle of now you see me, now you don't. I'll say one thing, but do another. It's like this would, to me, almost describe where all the problems came from. I don't feel respected. I don't want to be treated like this. I'm not going to be there for you. On the other hand, I wanted to be with you. I wanted to manifest everything with you. I don't feel like I have the power to manifest it. So instead, I'm going to be deceptive and be back and forth. I just feel like this was a nasty cycle that had been created. It was a lesson. It was a lesson. But before we can get to the lesson, we got to first understand what the lesson is. It's almost like if you were supposed to read a book and write a book report, but you don't know how to read yet, or it's in a language that you don't know how to read, you got to first be able to do that before you can complete the lesson. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. This is the key to it. This is like, oh, we're learning the language. Okay, now we can understand this. And now we can actually complete the story. We're completing this story in this because there's a huge awareness of where this problem came from. Let me just get one more card for an outcome, please. One more card for an outcome. And I really do just want one. Ooh, no pressure. One card for the outcome. The World. Okay. I'm so happy. This is a fresh start. This is a fresh start that comes with wisdom. That comes with, okay, we have learned that lesson. We understand it from everyone's perspective at this point. I know I started out by saying this was all from one person's perspective, and then there at the end, I kind of started to drag in a little bit more. But it may be because this is toward the end of this is where somebody is ready to communicate this. I mean, with the High Priestess here, especially, this may be where somebody's able to communicate it, because this is the reveal, the big reveal that leads us to this new beginning. A whole new world, a whole new opportunity, a whole new fresh start. If nothing else, let me put it this way. If we can comprehend a situation as to why someone hurt us, why they betrayed, why they ran away, why it's been confusing, all these things, it may simply be like making peace with, all I can figure is somebody ran from love, and they must have done that for a variety of reasons that had to do with their own wounding. And that's it. And now accepting that allows a new cycle to begin, allows a freedom from the hurt. So this reading, this might just be a story about understanding another person's perspective so that you can close out any painful cycle and feel refreshed and feel like, okay, I don't have to repeat that cycle. But I feel like this is very much the other person's perspective, who is then coming in to kind of have this conversation about, like, I have figured out some big things about the past, the cycle we were in, the behavior I exhibited, the reason, the triggers, all these things. And now there can be a new beginning. I hope everybody gets a second chance and a fresh start. I hope that life always gets better. I hope that everybody always finds a way. If there's been wounding, I'm sorry if you've been hurt, and I hope that you heal, and I hope that you have a fresh start, and don't give up on love, and don't give up on the fact that people are truly kind, but we're all a little damaged. But this reading is really one of a lot of understanding and hope, even though it was a long reading to get to this point. It was a long journey. But maybe healing is always a long journey. I don't know. Anyway, you guys take care. And if this doesn't resonate, please just release it. If anything ever like upsets you or makes you sad, please don't listen. You know, I don't want anybody sad. This is my art, and my art as a storyteller is something that I really love, and it's really important to me. But I'm not here to tell anybody else how anything is or to predict anyone's future. I'm not psychic. I cannot do that. So this is just, it is the storyline that I saw. And this maybe has one little grain in it that will be something for you to go, let me think about that. And if there is something that you think about in a positive light, wonderful. But if there's anything negative, please do release it. Take care. Have a better day.